How do I put this? I've always found the leather patterns out there kind of lacking. So ever since I started doing leather craft, I make my own patterns and have developed a marking system that's not just a simple template, but can also act as a guide to help make leather crafting easier. In this video, I'm going to show you the most simple way to craft a project using my pattern, which is the print and stick method. When you print a pattern out, you will see all the pieces you need laying on a few pieces of paper. On top of them, you will see a ruler scale. Before we do anything, put up a ruler next to it to see if the print is scaled correctly. If they're lined up, we can cut out the pattern pieces. Be sure to cut around them so we have some space for sticking the pattern to the leather, either with clear tapes or with thin double-sided tapes. One I prefer because it's stickier. If you're using 3.85mm punching irons, you can choose to punch out the holes for the refined wavy stitch pattern on both sides. If not, this is just a reference to where to punch out your holes. I will leave the punching for later steps because punching the holes all the way through the layers makes stitching smoother. Cutting is perhaps the most difficult part to get right. Having the pattern directly on top of the leather makes it a bit easier. Firstly, the leather won't stretch as much as you cut when there is tape on top. Secondly, the lines from a printer are way clearer than those drawn by Scratch-All. For a simple pattern like this one, a ruler and cutter are enough to cut out the leather. But for other patterns, you may need to buy some hole punches. My pattern is pretty much designed to be as standalone as possible, which means you don't have to review the tutorial every time you use a pattern. You will know exactly where each piece goes just by looking at it. For example, this piece, P1 is short for pocket 1. This will stick to I1, the first interior piece. There is a corresponding blue line on I1, which you can align the pocket to. Occasionally, you will see a green dashed line instead of a blue one, which means the piece should be aligned to the fuzzy back of the panel. This usually being a reinforcement material that gives the bag or wallet structure, or sometimes an interior pocket. For these parts, grab a compass to measure the distance of the border and transfer that to the back of the leather. For most bifold wallets, you will need to make the exterior a bit wider than the interior to accommodate differences in length and folding, which is why I added this red midline on both pieces of the pattern. This will help you find the midpoint and align the exterior and the interior as you glue. I hated doing the edges until I found out I can save time by trimming the edges clean before sanding. Every time you have more than one layer on an edge, you will see an extra 3mm of space on the pattern. Once you glue the letters together, use a compass to mark a 3mm line and cut the edges out. Finally, we can mark a 4mm stitch line and punch a holes on the wallet. Remember not to pierce the edges of the pocket so it won't tear in the long run. And use a 2-tooth iron to do the curves on the folding area so the holes won't misalign on the inside. That's pretty much how you can use my patterns. I hope I can help you speed up the crafting process, and happy crafting!